Hey everyone, and welcome to EFRL Esports for the European Formula Racing League. So today we're live with round 4 of 22, and it's going to be the Chinese Grand Prix this evening. So I'm going to be a commentator for the entire race, guys. And let's see, before we get started here, we got our full qualifying session getting started. So we're already in Q1. That's going to take about 18 minutes before we get on to Q2. It does look a bit cloudy on this well, not really too cloudy actually, just seemed a bit cloudy at the start. And we seem to already have a full grid of 20 cars to race here today at China, so I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how qualifying session is going to go through for us. So let's get a few things on screen before we do get on to the grid and other stuff like that. I don't think we need all of that, so I think that's good enough for now. Okay, I think we're good. So we got a number of cars already getting out on track just to get started with qualifying sessions. So as they're doing that on their out laps, let's just have a quick look at what our grid is like this evening. So let's see what we got here. Alright, so for Mercedes, we got our usual Dan Clement and Paulie there. Racing Point, I got Cap and Jerry. For Ferrari, I got Tojiji and Luki there. BG Cactus and Groot for Alfa Romeo. Red Bull, we got Devils HR12. And AlphaTauri, I got Debizak and Havlis. Williams, I got Blescott and Nimi. And then for Renault, we got Tassikos and Prasek. And then we got Christoph and Eska for McLaren. And Cuban and Gargamel for Haas. So quite a good grid to work with here this evening for this race. So let's just get through a little bit what's happening here. So let's see. Majority of our cars are out on track. I got just a few cars that are left still in the pits, and I'm quite sure they're gonna be getting out here anytime soon to actually get their lap started as well. Because being here, China is one of the most interesting turns that we have. We're on turn 1 here with Paulie at the moment as he goes around. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch at the race start actually, to see how drivers are going to handle getting into that, because we're going to get let's see, it's really not too much of a long run to get onto turn 1 here at China at the race start. So cars are going to tend to get just a bit bunched up as we do get into turn 1 and turn 2 as well, and it's kind of back to back getting into turn 3 as well there. So it's going to be very, very interesting I think to see how these drivers are going to handle it and how much contact we're going to have between cars, because trust me, we do expect to have some contact between cars. If there's going to be damage due to that, we're not sure as yet. If there's going to be a safety car, we're absolutely not sure, but definitely I'm quite sure we're going to have some bit of minor contact between cars, and it might result in a few damaged cars, few damaged front wings. So we're going to expect maybe a few pit stops on the opening lap of the race. So we'll see how things go, because I'm quite sure everyone is going to try to keep it as clean as they can. Of course, no telling what could possibly happen in a race like this. So 20 drivers on track to for everyone else to deal with. A lot of cars are wrong when they do get started, so that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We already got some lap times coming in. Alright, so let's get a look at that as well. So far, let's see. We got currently we got Blescon with a 130.7. Debizak went second with a 130.9. This to a 210 slower. BG Cactus with a 131, and then Havlis a 131.7. Paulie 132.6. And then I got Eska with a 133.7, Luki a 134.1. So just a different range of lap times as we're just getting started with this session. Everyone just getting a feel for the track, and yeah, just testing out, see how the tires are working with the track as well on their first lap that they're going to really try here. It is a full qualifying session, so the basic point of qualifying 1 is basically just going to be just to make it over to qualifying 2, and that's where the real fun actually begins, where everyone starts to just lay out strategy in terms of race and whatnot. So we're going to see how that works, and that is Paulie off track just a bit there. He's going to have to try that lap again. Probably took a bit of damage off of that, I'm not sure. So let's have a look. He already made one lap either way, so I don't think he's too worried about it. So let's have a look at someone else currently running here. I don't think Havlis is on a pretty good lap. Let's have a look if he is. Now we got a few more time coming, and we got Hapless going 131.7. Let's see, Task goes with 131.5, and Groot went 131.3, so not too bad. Gargamel went 133. So quite a few more drivers have made their lap times in here, and everyone else is continuing to go as well. 2GG here running as well, going a bit wide though. Let's see how he finishes with that as they come around. We got Process starting his out lap at the moment and going. Got Dan Clement here. He is in about to go into sector 3 actually on his hot lap. And let's have a look at how he is going to be finishing his lap. Doesn't have too much longer to go, as quite an interesting turn down at the back of the track here, where you get onto a very long back straight, which actually does prove to be a very actually a good overtaking opportunity, especially if your setup does prove to give your car a lot of straight line speed. As you can see, heading towards the grandstands there, it's just a lot of straight to work with, but a very heavy braking zone getting to this turn coming up here, which you gotta just be so careful about, just not to overshoot it or to just brake too early either. So gotta be very careful about that. And then this is our pit entry on the right hand side that we just went past. So very interesting pit entrance here at China as well, which you gotta really be so careful about, especially when you do get around to just after the track exit there. So turn 1 not as always as easy as we're going to expect it to be. So Clement just went 132.044. Not too bad of a time, currently in 9th. So basic point here is just going to make it into the top 15 to make it over into qualifying 2, because only 15 drivers are going to be able to do that. So we're going to see who those 15 drivers are going to be and who are going to be the 5 drivers not making it over. So currently we're on with Cap here, as he is on a lap and running as well. And we're just going to wait to see what sort of lap he is running and how well he is going to be placed on the track here. So switching on to Process down there at the bottom of the grid, I just went way wide and invalidated that lap, which is always difficult to not get to happen sometimes. So you just gotta be careful on your lap. And they have just about 10 minutes left in this qualifying session, and it seemed like we just started the second, like just a minute ago. So 18 minutes really do go away from you very quickly, as we can see here. So let's get back on to someone else who's currently running. And it looks like we got Nimi running on another out lap here. Another hot lap. So let's see if he's going to try and improve upon that 131.705. And which hopefully he might try and do, even though he is in a pretty good spot to stay there in the group going over to qualifying 2. But you never really want to take a chance with a session such as this, because we still got about 4 to 5 drivers still not had made any lap times as yet. So he's just going to want to be as careful as he can, just to make sure that drivers below him do not get up and just push him down to a point where it becomes very much of a dangerous point to be at, getting close down to 14-15 position and barely making it over to qualifying 2. Just something you really want to avoid happening. So I think he's trying to be as careful as possible. Just might be trying to make another lap. Let's have a look if he's still on that fast lap. Probably is, but we're just going to keep an eye on him as we have we got Cuban just started his lap there right now down at the bottom. So let's have a look at him and let's see where he's going to go on our board here today. Hopefully make a good time, and hopefully he's able to actually keep that car into qualifying 2. So far so good for Cuban here. He just did a purple sector 1 and now he's running sector 2. Let's see what sector 2 time is going to be like though. Sector 2 not much of a, really too much of a difficult portion of the track for me, I would say. But China is a track. It's really not too much of a difficult track. Just I think turn 1 is a bit difficult to get through it, just to avoid going wide on some occasions, especially at the start of a race. And that's a purple sector 2 for Cuban there as well, as we're talking about that. And then that after that very long back straight there, that's a very interesting turn. It's always easy to overshoot that turn a bit sometimes. And pit entrance is something you got to be careful about as well. I think just got a few things, and also China is a track that it is kind of hard on tires, so you gotta really be careful what sort of strategy you're using in the race, and really gotta really have a good setup to work with here on a track like this, just to make sure that your tires don't wear away faster than some of them, and just that's really gonna just be costing you a lot of time in the race. And that is the second fastest time now at 130.758, and he just got dropped down just a bit more because Blescon just went 130.740, about 100 of a second faster, and Devils went 5/10 faster than Blescon. He went 120.288. So some very, very fast lap times from this guy. As we're seeing, it's becoming very, very competitive at this point in the session right now. Everyone's making the fastest possible time that they can, and we're following with Jerry around as he's on an outlap right now. So we're gonna just keep an eye on him as he continues to go on. Yeah. So as we're saying, guys, lap times are starting to get extremely competitive on the grid here right now. 20 cars in, and it's becoming a lot. Actually becoming very, very close between a lot of these cars. We get quite a few not too many 130s I would say, but a few 130s and some 131s, 132s, which are kind of getting a bit competitive, because it's going to be a little bit difficult for some of these drivers to keep up with these times, and just make sure that they actually keep themselves from getting eliminated from the next session. But we'll see how that works out. I think a few more cars in the pits, and we got just about 6 minutes left in qualifying one here, guys. So time really is of the essence, and it's really going way pretty fast. So whoever needs to get out and make a lap time here, they're really going to need to move on with it. We got Prasek in the pits. I'm quite sure he'll be getting back out any second now. I got Jerry and Cap out on track right now. They're trying to make their lap times in to keep themselves from getting eliminated out of the session. We got just a purple sector 2 there, I think, from Jerry, and he's in sector 3 now. Let's see how he finishes for Racing Point here, and if he's able to keep that car into qualifying 2 or not. We'll probably go through the standings maybe just a little bit later, just to have a look on what's been happening so far through the season as well, because this is round 4 guys, of the season that the EFRL is currently on. And that is Jerry into 9th right now with his 131.6, so really not too bad of a time. And Cap went 132.7, so he's in 16th, a very dangerous point to be at here right now. So Prasek is now out. We're going to just be with him on his outlap here. Top of the grid is currently back into the pits. They might be getting out for just one more go here at China, just for qualifying one, or maybe they'll probably just stay in and save whatever tires they have using at the moment, because they know they're actually at a pretty good spot of staying there for qualifying 2. But we'll see how that works out. But a few guys in the grid there are going to be at a very dangerous point, especially from Havlis going down there, and Paulie, Clement, Christoph, and Eska as the most vulnerable driver right now. So still following on with Prasek, still on his outlap and going. He's going to be started with his hot lap pretty soon. Got just about 4 minutes now left in this qualifying session. Time is really, really going away very quickly, guys. Honestly, I feel like this 18 minutes has just went away so quickly. Honestly, it just feels that way for me. I'm not sure how it feels for you guys or how it feels for the drivers here right now, but that session is ending pretty soon, and then we're going to head on to qualifying 2, which will be about 15 minutes long, and will only take the top 10 cars into qualifying 3. So very, very competitive sessions for these guys to deal with, not just one short qualifying session of 18 minutes. Of course, those sessions are actually pretty interesting as well, because whenever you're doing a short qualifying session, it does prove to be a bit challenging for a lot of drivers. Remember, you just have that one session, that one 18-minute session to make the fastest possible time. Otherwise, you will be losing out on a good start on the race if you're unable to make a really good time in that session. Even if you just make, let's say, about 12th or 13th, that's where you're going to have to start, because you don't have the opportunity of getting over to qualifying 2 and then trying to make it to qualifying 3 for the top 10, and then just trying to get the best possible start there. So it is a bit more difficult. It is a lot more pressure on drivers when it's a short qualifying session. When it is a full qualifying session as we have it here, it might be a little more relaxed. Of course, that pressure is still there, because you got to just make sure that you can take your car into the next session. Otherwise, you have just lost out, and it's really going to cost you in the race, because you're starting down in the back of the grid if you do lose out on it. and I think our drivers are trying to work with that right now, and I think it's just drivers in our 132s and downwards which are having problems staying to get into the next qualifying session here. And I don't know how well of a lap Prasicek has been running here as we've been talking through about this, but we'll see how he finishes on this lap. I know a lot of my drivers are in the pits here right now. I think it's basically just a few drivers down at the back who are currently still running. Let's see what where Prasicek goes here, how far up he's gonna go. Now we got HR12 getting on lap. I think 2GG it was there just getting on his out time, just barely getting out of the way. Yes, so let's see where HR12 is going to do, if he's going to improve himself from 132.8 and hopefully make a better time and keep himself from being eliminated from the next session here. So far so good with qualifying, guys. Gotta say, it's been quite interesting. Okay, so that is the end of qualifying one here right now at China. So we're just in a bit of overtime with a few drivers who are currently still running on track, which is not too much. I gotta say, just few drivers down at the bottom of the grid, and yeah, they're about to finish their lap pretty soon. So that's gonna be fully the end of the Q1 session, and we're gonna get straight into qualifying 2. So we're gonna just wait until the session actually ends off fully before we have a look at the 15 drivers who are making it over to qualifying 2 here. Does not look like 2GG is gonna finish this lap on a good note, so I think that's gonna be it for him there. Cap looks like he might still be running on a fast lap and trying to keep himself from being eliminated here right now. I know Prasicek at the back there is coming on a lap there as well. I know he's going into the pits. I think that's it for everyone, so everyone's just gonna get retired from the session, and that's gonna be it, guys, for our qualifying 1. So it looks like we might have Cap, HR12, Luki there, 2GG, and Prasicek eliminated out of the next session. I think just Prasicek, they're the only car left going across the grid. Which I think he just did. Not sure if he was allowed to do another lap there. Alright, so we're gonna wait for that to just end off, and then we get straight into qualifying 2 here. Okay, so qualifying one results, it's resulting with Devils taking P1 for this session, Blesscount in second, Cube in third, we got Debizak in fourth, I got BG Cactus in fifth, Groot in sixth, Tasco in seventh, Gargamel in eighth, Jerry there in ninth, Nimi in 10th, we got Havlis 11th, Polly in 12th, Clement in 13th, Christoph there 14, and Eska there in 15. So these are going to be your 15 drivers heading over to qualifying 2. Out of that session, oh, both McLarens actually barely made it in. And out of that session is going to be Cap, HR12, Luki, 2GG, and Prazasek there. So that's it for qualifying 1, guys. We're going to head straight into qualifying 2 here now for our 50-minute session. Okay, this begins our 15-minute qualifying 2 session. So very, very important session for the guys. This is where the one session where actually they have to start the race on the tires they do their fastest lap on. That is provided that they make it into qualifying 3. That is the condition there. So yeah, we got cars starting to get out on track already. Get an early start on this. And let's get on board with a few cars that we got on board with Blesscount right now, as he is just getting out on his outlap and getting started already. So this session is just about 3 minutes shorter than the session that we just went through. And that actually went through pretty quickly, I gotta say. So I don't expect that this session is gonna take too long to get through as well. We are gonna be getting to that race session very, very soon, which a lot of you are quite excited about to watch here. So yeah, drivers as well, I think they're quite excited to get to the race session. Qualifying is, you know, a bit tense for a lot of drivers. They're under a lot of pressure just to make sure that they can perform for their team, and yeah, they're trying to outperform their teammates as well in the session, and just trying to keep their cars as high up in the qualifying results as possible, just to have a really good start. And even that really doesn't guarantee you a good result in a race. You could be starting on a pole position for a race and be taken out before the first lap is even over. We've seen that happen many, many times with races I've streamed on my channel before, and yeah, I've seen that happen so many times. Guys starting down in P1, P2, and then just they don't even make it a few laps into the race. So it really doesn't mean a good qualifying result is going to guarantee you a good spot to finish in a race. It just gives you a much better opportunity to finish higher up in a race, or even to still hold on to that pole position all the way to the end and through. So drivers do have to be careful how they handle a race start. It's one of the most important points in a race, where you have to just be so careful and have a really good start, as we do the manual race starts here. So you got to get a really good start, and just watch those lights as they're going off in the race. And then you got to just watch for cars around you as you get into turn 1. It doesn't matter at what point you're starting on the grid. You got to just always keep an eye on cars around you and where they're actually looking to go. Just make sure you're giving everyone enough room to come through, and also you have enough room to work with, and you're not gonna get you know, sidebarred by another car or just spin around or something like that, because cars even just result, any car that possibly just hits you in the rear end could cause you to just start to spin and lose control of your rear end. So it does happen that way as well. Okay, so we got a few qualifying times already in here, so let's see where we're at so far. Let's just follow on with someone else who are currently running. We're following on with Gruti and Validate. Actually, Clement here still running. Alright, so we got Debbie Zach with a 130.7, Hapless 131.024, Blesscont 131.7, and we got Jerry 132.2, Christoph 132.5, Eska 142.2, very bad lap, Paulie very bad lap as well, 146.8. So they're definitely going to try and improve on those lap. Tassa goes out of this session already with a 140.6, and I don't think that's going to keep him in the session to go through to qualifying 3, so he's going to be out of the session definitely there, unless something really does happen and he by some miracle makes it into the next session. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, Clement running on a lap here right now, which now in sector 3, so we're going to see how he finishes with his lap. We still got quite a few more drivers yet, more than half of the grid actually to make their lap times in as yet, so we're going to keep an eye to see how that actually is going through here right now. Apologies about that, guys. Yes, let's see what's happening for now. So just a few more drivers left to make their lap times in. Currently following with Devils right now. So let's see what's still happening there. So Devils still holds on to fastest lap in the session. Harvard is still in second. Bestcon third. Paulie went up to 4. BG Cactus in 5th. Jerry in 6th. Nemi out of the session with a 132.2. Let's see how well that holds up. And Christoph the 132.5. Clement 132.7. And Tasco's 140.6 currently holds him in 6th position. And Escalade with 142.2. So yeah, still about 4 or 5 more drivers left in the session. About 4 more drivers left in the session to make lap times in. I think things are going to change around just a bit as we get closer to the end of the session here, because yeah, we do have about 6.5 minutes left in the session. So drivers are going to get back out on track and still try to make as much of let's see, as much of a better time as they can just to get through to qualifying 3 and yeah, try to get the best possible start for the race here. Okay, so Devils went up to P3 so far. Still about 3 more drivers yet to make some time, and let's see if it's possible for them to actually keep themselves from getting eliminated from the session. Just about 5 minutes remaining here right now, and it's been a pretty good session so far. Some very competitive lap times. I think the guys are going to be pushing a little bit harder, actually as much as they can into qualifying 3. But at least for this session, they're just going to really just trying to see what tires they want to qualify on. We'll just have a look at that in just a bit here, actually, to see what tires they're actually fitted on their cars at the moment, and let's see when the session ends what tires they actually did their fastest lap on. At least for the top 10, we're going to keep an eye on that, and we're going to have a look at it again when we do get to that race start there. So I think that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on as well. Let's see, where is Groot right now? So Groot just did a purple sector 2, so he's actually running a pretty good lap on the track right now. So let's see if he actually places in the top 5 at least with that time. Should I expect get a pretty good time since he's ran at least one purple sector so far. Still would be a bad lap, but let's see how well he actually works with this lap as we're about to get to the end of it here pretty soon. Just about one turn to go for him, and then onto that pit straight, and let's see where Groot is gonna go. Just 2 other drivers after him to make their time, and he goes P6 for now, 131.9. That actually might take him into qualifying 3 there. I think definitely so, because not too many more drivers out on track back at the moment. I think Cuban and Gargamel are back into the pits, and we're following with Esker right now as he's finishing up a lap here. So let's see if he's doing any sort of improvement on the lap, or maybe getting back into the pits. We're not sure as yet. He is actually going to finish his lap, and he does 142.2 so far. Let's see where he goes with this. And goes a bit better actually, 132.881 so far now. It's now in 12, but still not enough to put him up into the top 10 at the moment. We got Cuban on another outlap here right now. Definitely trying to keep himself going into qualifying 3. We'll see how that actually works. So we got Dan Clement to see where he is at right now. I think definitely he's on a hot lap here at the moment and going. And let's see how well he's going to actually finish the session here. Alright, so Clement is coming to a close on the end of this lap. And that puts him into P4 at 131.3. Actually a pretty impressive lap. Gets way up there. Zach there, though, in his own world with a 130.7. Only 130 on track right now. A pretty insane lap time. I think that definitely keeps him to go up into the next session. We get both Cuban and Gargamel out laps right now. I got 3 drivers out of the session. We got Nimi, Christoph, Tascos out of the session. And the best time with the 3 of them is a 132.2, which Escos needs to do a little bit better on right now to put himself into 10th position here. Just needs to beat a 132.285, and he can actually do that. Of course, he does have Cuban and Gargamel making laps there right now, so if they do make a faster lap, that's gonna kind of just close off on him a bit. So just we still not gonna be able to make it. So I think he needs to make a way better time in. If he can get into a 131, I think that would be his best possible chance of staying through to qualifying 3. But because we are just under a minute and a half left in the session. That's a purple sector 1 so far from Cuban here. So he's on actually for a pretty good lap so far. Let's see how qualifying 2, how sector 2 on the track goes for him. But if he does get 2 purple sectors, he'll be showing he's probably on for a pretty good lap here. And actually just did a purple sector 2 as well, so definitely on for a good lap. So we're gonna see how this comes to a close here now. And we're gonna probably have some drivers start to retire off from the session, or that's gonna be it, because I think our top of the grid are now gonna get back out. They know they're kind of safe for their time. Jerry, they're in a bit of a dangerous position though of getting eliminated if 2 drivers do make better times, and that is a 130.4, the fastest lap in the session so far, and Cuban goes P1 so far with that. And I think we just got Eska and Gargamel just out there and running still. So let's see where the two of them are going to place. We're going to follow Gargamel as he seems to be coming down at the back of Eska there. And yeah, most of our drivers have retired already. So it looks like Nimi is out of the session. Christoph is out. Tacticals is out. Let's see. Oh, and Eska just goes 9th. That's going to put Jerry out of this qualifying 3 session there now. And there goes BG Cactus out of the session as well, as Gargamel goes 2nd now, 130.5, just getting it on the very last lap, barely making it into qualifying 3 here. So that was quite lucky for the two of them, Cuban and Gargamel in there. But pretty good lap from Gargamel and Cuban, 130.4, 130.5, and Debbie Zagger 130.7 for him as well. So pretty interesting and competitive lap times. It just goes to show how fast some of these guys are here, and we're gonna see how well they do in qualifying 3. So 130.4 being our fastest time here. Let's see if anyone gets into a 129 when we do get to qualifying 3, which will be in just a bit, about a minute times or so, because we're just waiting for I think Cuban just to retire off of the session, and then we can get going again. So Cuban's gonna get back in the pits, and I think that should automatically just retire his car, and yeah, we should be good to go, getting straight into qualifying 3 here right now. So gotta say, a really good session from EFRL drivers so far. And remember guys, we are currently live on the EFRL YouTube channel, so please subscribe to the channel if you're new and watching the race here with us. And yeah, do also leave a like on the video for the league. It does help them grow the channel as well. And yep, look forward to the next race, which we'll have. It's a weekly thing we do here with EFRL. Every week they're gonna have another race. So it's about 22 races for the season, and we're only on round 4. So expect every Tuesday at this specific time, which we started about about 45 minutes ago. We started the stream, so about that time, expect to have a race at least every week here. And we're just finishing qualifying 2 right now. So yeah, so results for qualifying 2 goes with Cuban takes P1, Gargamel in 2nd, W Isaac in 3, Havlis takes 4th. We got Devils there takes 5. Clement takes 6, Blescon 7, Pauline 8, Groot in 9th, and Eska is in 10th. So that's our top 10 going over to qualifying 3. Out of qualifying 3, unfortunately, it's going to be BG Cactus, Jerry, Nimi, Christoph, and Tassicos there. They did put a pretty good performance on in the session. Unfortunately, their lap times were not able to make it over to qualifying 3 for them. So we're going to see how that works out for the rest of the grid, who currently is in top 10. And we can see what tires they're qualified on there. If we have a look, it looks like 4, 5, 6 drivers, 7 drivers on the softs and 3 drivers on the mediums for the start of the race. We're going to see how that grid mix up when we do get with their starting positions as we get through. Okay, so we're getting started with our qualifying 3 session right now. 12 minutes and counting down here. So yeah guys, I was saying, do support the league with their channel. Leave a like on their video, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you are new and watching the races and enjoying them. And yeah, as I said, we do this every single week here. I do join on to the channel with them to do the commentary. And if you're looking to watch any other races during the week, join to my channel. Just look for IG8Live Esports on YouTube. You'll find it. You can't possibly miss it. It's like filled with all esports races from a bunch of different leagues. Currently, I think my schedule has 11 different leagues for the week, and that includes EFRL. Of course, EFRL streams are not on my channel. It's only done on the EFRL YouTube channel. All the other streams are done mostly on my channel. So I got at least 7 to 9 streams being done on my channel during the course of a week on different days. So join on and you'll have a look at that. And if you are looking to watch another race after this one, I do have a Formula 2 race coming up very shortly after we finish this race session, in about 30 minutes after. And what was that Williams doing? Yeah, so we're gonna have a Formula 2 race just after this session on my channel over on IG8Live Esports. And tomorrow I have a Monaco Grand Prix, which I'm planning to stream for a league. So I haven't done one of those in quite a while actually, any race at Monaco. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that one. If you want to join on for that, that's going to be a lot of fun. I think the time is going to be at 7:30 p.m. BST time, British time. My time is going to be on 2:30 Eastern time. I'm not sure. Depends on what time zone you're actually running in, guys. That's how it goes. But if you check out the channel, you'll have a look and see what times are actually being put up for the races there. I'll have a post out on that. And yeah, so let's get on to our guys here right now. We got majority of our grid getting out on track for their qualifying 3 session, and we got already down to just about 10 minutes left, and they're about to get started on their hot laps right now. Let's see, Havlis, I think the first driver to start a hot lap here, and he's running already. So let's see how his time is going. Remember, we have some pretty good times in the qualifying 2 session and qualifying 1. So let's see how competitive these guys get here now. Okay, so we got our first lap time in with Havlis here at 1:30.8, already getting very down into the 1:30s here. So let's see who else is coming in next for a lap here. I think we're going to have just a few more drivers coming in just a bit. And I think Cuban is about to come in with his time, and let's see where he goes. No, actually he didn't get a time as yet. I think he's just getting started on his lap there right now. Oh, we got Paulie there with a 1:31.035 and grew to the 1:30.4, 4 tenths faster than what Havlis did. So, oh, we got someone else went in there as well. Blescott now 1:29.9, and we're actually seeing those 1:29s now. So let's see who else is going to get into a 1:29 here. Where is Clement at the moment? Running in sector 2 right now, so let's keep an eye and see how that board starts to fill up with lap times here. We got Eska with a 1:32.9. I don't think that's going to cut it. It needs to go faster than that. And who else went in there? Devizak 1:30.4. So pushes Groot down to P3 there right now. Of course, I think everyone is going to get out for a second go at this. So let's have the first round finish of lap times filling in on the board and see where everyone goes. So then we're gonna have they're gonna have at least one more chance to do this with the amount of time that's going to be left in the session here. And that is Clement with a 1:31.5 so far. Devils with a 1:30.1 into second at the moment. We still got Cuban. I know, I think he just got a time in. And where did he go? Where did he go? Okay, he went 5th to the 1:30.7. So only Gargamel left to make a lap time here right now for our first round of lap times in qualifying 3. And I know we're going to have one more round of everyone getting back out on track in just a bit to make another lap time here and hopefully improve upon their time. And it's just going to be about whatever position they finish this session in, that's where they will be starting on the grid. Of course, they're going to have to start with the tires they use in qualifying 2, the ones that they made the fastest lap on. That is going to be the tires they're going to start on. Whatever lifespan it has left, that's what they have to use. So that's why they are actually a bit careful in the qualifying 2 session there with the tires as well. So let's see how Gargamel is about to finish his lap and where he places on the board and how good of a time he's going to get. And that is Gargamel going P4 right now with a 130.4 there. So pretty good lap from him. We already have some drivers getting back on outlaps already because we have just about just under 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. And yeah, it's really not a lot of time to work with, so drivers are going to have to get a move on and just try to get a better time in. I think they're trying to get her back as early as possible, so just in case they do need to do a third hot lap here, they're going to actually maybe have some time to actually get that done. Because they can use these tires as much as they want here right now, because they're not going to start the race on them as per the regulations we have here for their session right now. So definitely they're going to push as much as they can. Blescon, they're the only driver currently in the 129s, and I think he might feel a bit safe there right now until someone else actually pushes it in through, because he's very, very close to that 130 actually, just about 200 of a second off of being on a 130 time. So yeah, he's still actually pretty good there. He has about 2/10 time faster than what Devils did there. Okay, so for that disconnection, yeah, so we're just checking something with the stream just to make sure everything is good on stream, and hopefully everyone can hear everything clearly going on through as well. So let's see where our session is at right now. I just want to make sure everything is good before we get into the race. Don't want any incidents or any issues there. I did have a bit of an issue with audio a few days ago, so we're just making sure that everything is okay. So far so good in this session. Blescon there, 129.9 still in the session. Fastest lap so far. He's on with a provisional pole time. Devils 130.1. He's definitely on the outlap right now, trying to improve that time. We are Groot holds on to P3 at the moment. We're at 130.199. Not too bad of a time, just 100 of a second off of what Devils did. So he's out of the session already, unfortunately for him. But yeah, we got already a few more drivers on outlaps right now. Devils, I think, just getting started with his lap. Let's see if he's going to be able to do better than a 130.1 actually, and go faster than Blescon. He's going to have to get way into the 129s and better to get that time up. Havel is there currently on a lap, I think, as well. So quite a few drivers on back on their laps, final laps that they're doing on track right now, because we got just about half a minute left in this qualifying session, which drivers are going to have to just work with and try to get the best possible time in. So we're going to see how well this is actually working out for them and how well it's not actually. And just after the session, it's going to be a very, very interesting point where we finally get to our official race session, guys. Formation lap, and then straight into the race, and 50% race. So going to be quite a lot of fun. Turn 1 and a few more other turns on track, and just basically getting through the first 5% of this race actually. We're gonna see how well that goes. And qualifying 3 is officially over, guys. We have just into the overtime right now with everyone who's still currently running on track. They will be allowed to finish their current lap, and then that's gonna be it. And we're following on with Devils right now to see if he's able to get a faster time than a 1:30.1. I didn't pay attention if he had any purple sectors or not, but let's see how this goes. Dan Clement there in 9th. I think he's on a lap right now, trying to improve his time as well. So let's see. Yeah, I think he's coming just behind Devils here. Oh, and Devils does go faster, 129.7, 2 tenths faster than what Blescon did. And where is Clement right now? He's gone into the pits. Who else is still running? We got Gargamel and Cuban still running. Cuban about to go across the line here. 130.784 is his current time, and goes faster. Into P2 he goes, 129.9 right now. We got Gargamel, he is coming around the final 2 turns here right now. Let's see if he's going to improve on his time as well. So currently, as we have it, Devils holds on to a provisional pole start with Cuban alongside him in 2nd, Blescon there in 3rd, Groot in 4th, and Debizac in 5th. And that's going to be it for the qualifying session, because Gargamel is heading straight into the pits right now. And he has a 130.4 in 6th. Havelis starts in 7th so far as it seems. Paulie holds on to 8th. Dan Clement in 9th and Eska in 10th. So let's see. That should stick just go as we get straight to the end of the session. Fully end off here now. Everyone's going to retire off, and that's going to be it. And yeah, we're gonna just go through our final top 10 results, and then get straight into our race session. Should be a lot of fun to watch this race start. Haven't had a race at China, as we said before. Well, I haven't streamed a race at China in quite a while, so it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch a race here once again. It's actually a really fun track for me to drive as well. I do enjoy driving here. Some of these turns are a bit difficult to get right, but once you get some practice in it, you actually do enjoy doing it. So turn 1 is a bit of a difficult one. It depends on what line you want to take through to turn 1 on the start of a race. So there we have it, top 10. We got Devils is starting on pole position, Cuban starting 2nd, Blescon starting P3, Groot starting 4th, Debizac starting 5th, Gargamel starting 6th, we got Hovlis in 7th, Paulie there 8th, we got Clement in 9th, and we got Eskas in 10th position starting there. So not too bad at all here. Okay, so we're gonna get straight into our formation lap right now, guys, and yeah, straight into the race session. And good luck to all the drivers. I hope everyone has a good race, and hopefully we can have all 20 drivers finish the race here. We know what the case is with issues like that, but you know, things do happen on track. But we're just hoping for the best that everyone can still finish this race. Alright guys, so we're getting started with our formation lap here at this point in time, and we got Devils is going to lead the grid around the track just to get everything warm up and up to temperature. Let's have a look at tires and see what strategy everyone is currently trying to work with. So for our top 10, we got 3 drivers starting on the mediums. That's going to be Devils there in P1, Blescon in P3, and Groot there in P4. They're going to be starting on the medium tires. Everyone else in the top 10 will be starting on the soft compound tires. And then we got bottom of the grid from 11 to 28. Only one driver, that's Lukey there in 18, starting on the softs. And everyone else is going to be on the mediums. So a bit of a mix of strategies with the front of the grid. Not too much actually. Most of our drivers on the soft, so they're looking at a 28 lap race and starting on the softs. I'm not sure how well they're going to push this. I know China is a bit tough on tires, so I'm not sure how possible it is to do a one stop starting on the soft tires. They might have to opt for that two stops either way, even though those guys on the mediums there as well might have to do, probably might try to do a one stop if they do a medium to hard strategy. We're going to see how that actually plays out here. I'm not sure as yet. Yeah, but we'll see how much stops they actually plan to do. Of course, remember, guys, they do have to take pit stops into consideration with safety cars that are going to happen on track. If we're going to have a safety car or not, they know what these races are like, and they've done them before. So with that experience that they have, they're definitely going to have to try and just keep an eye on what's happening around them on track and estimate if they're going to have a safety car. If they do have one, how they're going to actually change their strategy to adapt to that, because it does prove to be quite an advantage for some of the drivers under a safety car who are running way down in the race, actually get to improve their position quite by a number of positions up through a safety car by doing an early pit stop or stopping in the midst of that safety car and getting a chance to save some time for their pit stop actually. So it's a bit of a strategy to work out their drivers. They have to just have a main strategy that they're working with for the race, and then they have to have some emergency backup strategies for what they're going to do if we do have a VSC, if we do have a safety car, things like this. They have to actually account for all of this and work through with that, because you don't want to be going through to do a pit stop just after a safety car ends. Makes no sense. You're going to lose way too many positions, end up at the back of the grid and stuff like that. So cars would tend to pit during under a safety car if the need be, just to get their tires changed over, and they're probably going to adapt to a new strategy in a situation like that. So currently we have everyone getting reformed back on the grid right now. We're waiting for those lights to start to go out before we get ready to go. And we're going to see between what's happening right now. Why is my grid getting mixed up already? Alright, so Devil starting P1, Cuban starting second there. Let's see how turn 1 is going to go. I think we're going to keep on Cuban's car here. And ignore my grid that's saying lap 2 of 28. It is not lap 2, guys. The leaderboard just gets mixed up. Are we having a bit of a glitch right now? I'm seeing drizzle. And I think we're having a bit of a glitch because I'm not getting anything happening here. I'll know in just a second here. Definitely think we're having a bit of a glitch, guys. So we're actually probably missing the start of the race right now, because unfortunately I might have to see if I'll be able to rejoin the session to get back on, because it doesn't seem to be cooperating with me at the moment here. Guys, apologies, we are having a bit of a glitch, and unfortunately the only thing I can do is try to rejoin back the session so we can have a look at what happened. And we're definitely missed the start of the race, not going to be able to catch that. So let's try and get back on if we can. I'm not even sure as yet. We're going to have a look at that right now. Alright, thank you, Dan. We're back. We're getting back on the session right now. Just got back an invite because I'm not even sure what was happening. So we're probably missing the first lap and a half at least for this race. Apologies about that, but this sort of thing does happen from time to time. We do get these glitches, It is not the first time I'm dealing with one of this. The only thing we can possibly do is rejoin back the lobby. You have to exit and just rejoin, and then get back on again. So we're getting back on here right now, and then we're just gonna have a good go and see what's happening. Loading time sucks on PS4 now compared to PS5. Probably missing about 2 laps right now, if I'm counting it correct. Probably getting into 2.5 to 2.5, going to 3 laps. It's a 28 lap race, so we're missing quite a bit. It's the most interesting part of the race we've just missed. I really did not want to miss the first opening lap of the race, but I don't know why that glitch actually happens and why they're not fixing it. I think they're fixing like the useless issue which nobody cares about. Oh, come on, load already. Okay, so we are getting a new lobby set up for the race. We're just waiting to get back an invite and get back on that. I think maybe drivers had a glitch as well. I'm not sure. But I know we did have quite a bit of a glitch on my end here, and we're just waiting to get a new lobby set up so I can join again, and we're gonna get back started with the race. So everything's gonna be the same, and yeah, we're gonna get the grid sorted through and start it back in just a bit. So just hang on with us for just a few minutes, guys, so we get that set up. Okay, so getting back started with the formation lap here at the moment, as we can see what pit stop strategies are going to be like. Starting on the soft seems to be a 2-stop strategy, and starting on those mediums can be a 1-stop if they're going to push it to the hards. So we're going to see what sort of strategy these guys really want to play through here at the moment. And yeah, let's get back through the tires that are starting on here right now. So as we can see, top 10 cars, we got 3 drivers. There's we got Devils, we got Blescount and Groot. They're starting on the mediums. Everyone else on top 10 starting on the softs. Down at the bottom of the grid, we got just 1 driver starting with the softs and the rest of them starting on the mediums. So going to be a bit of a mix of strategies, not too much of a mix actually, just a mix between the top and the bottom half of the grid. And we're going to see how that works out. It does seem to be very, very cloudy for this race session here. So I'm not sure if we're expecting some rain or not, but those rain clouds are all around the track here right now. And it might start to rain in some portions or may not. We're not sure what the weather conditions are like for this session here. But we're going to have a look at that and see how it actually it plays out. And what exactly is going to happen, I'm not sure as yet. Yes, we're gonna have cars just weaving around the track just a bit right now. Just everybody just trying to get their tires up to temperature, brakes up to temperature and whatnot just before the start of this race. They really don't want to be starting the race on cold tires. So with the conditions as they are a bit cloudy, I think the track temperature is going to be a little bit lower than expected. So I think drivers are going to need to account for that, getting through to the first few turns at least with this race. So 20 drivers are about to start the Chinese Grand Prix here for EFRL. That's a European Formula Racing League. And we're going to see how many drivers actually are going to finish this race and how many penalties are going to be dished out for it, and how much that is going to affect positions there when we do finish this race. So yeah, we have our grid just getting reformed back here right now, and if we can have a look on board with Devils here, we can see that it's really not a very long run getting down to turn 1, and you gotta just decide what you're gonna do here. If you're gonna take it on the inside, take it on the outside, and definitely he's gonna have Cuban who's gonna try and push it through on the inside for him of turn 1. So yeah, it kind of just depends on what your strategy is going through turn 1, which is going to be what the best possible position is for our race start here. And we're about to get started with that race here right now. And let's just get, not telemetry, just get this back on. Alright, so that is it for them guys, and there you go on the start. The see Cuban is already getting a good run on Devils going into turn 1, and let's see how the rest of the grid are going to get through with that. We're trying to switch through as much as we can here, and everyone seems to be going through pretty well. About 3 to 4 cars going a bit wide on some occasions. I think one Mercedes was off the track for just a bit, probably getting back on. A bit of minor contact between a few cars in the grid as we go through, but everyone seems to be getting through pretty okay. Quite a number of position changes though as we've gone through the start of the race so far, with the cars trying to gain as much positions as they can going through. Oh, and that is a Renault into the wall. A bit of contact with the McLaren there, and that was Prasicek out of the race. I was wondering which McLaren it was hitting. I wonder if that was Christoph. I'm not sure. And yeah, so that's going to be a virtual safety car for that incident. That car did go off at the side of the track. So we have so we have a few penalties already handed out for the race, and we got let's see what's happening. So we're going to have a look at position changes. I know Cuban got a very good start off of Devils for that start of the race. Their position changes as they are. Blescon there stays P3, and top 2 drivers switch positions there. Devizak got up a position. Havelis got up 2. We got Groot losing 2. Gargamel lost 1. Escas is gained 2. Jerry has gained 3. Dan, Pauly, and BG Cactus, they've all lost positions here. Nimi is he's right there where he started. So is Luki and Tujiji there. And yeah, so quite a bit of a mix. through the track, and I think we're back racing again because it was just a VST, so that's over pretty quickly. And let's see what penalties are having. So 10 seconds of penalties for Christoph. I think he was the one involved with Prasek there on the opening lap, and yeah, so fastest lap goes to Cuban so far, and we got 5 seconds each for Eskas and HR12 for penalties so far here in the race. And let's see what's happening down in the bit in the middle of the grid. So Cuban leads out front, all trying to get a gap of over a second over Devils there in second there. We got Bleskan running to another half a second behind, so he's actually still trying to keep up with our race leaders here. That's Devils and Cuban out front, and hopefully he's able to keep up with them. Let's have a look further down the field as we go through what's happening here. And yeah, we got Paulie getting very close to his teammate right now, coming under pressure though from BG Cactus just behind him, going side by side with Paulie right now for a 10th position. And let's see, doesn't get it, and the Mercedes looks like had a bit of a rear end problem, just almost losing it there. So that is Cactus up to P10 now, puts Paulie down to 11 because of that mishap there. And he's going to continue on through. He now has Nimi for company behind him. Now that's Paulie coming under pressure once again from another car to lose a position. And let's see if that's going to be anything for him to worry about or not, as we got Nimi creeping up very, very close behind him right now. And I'm going to try and get by very shortly up into P11 if he does get an opportunity. Let's have a look at that. That Williams is coming up pretty strongly. And he actually seemed to have lost maybe a 10th or 2, but still running pretty strong, I would say. And our front of the grid getting away pretty well from each other at the moment. Let's go on with Nimi here right now. Looks like he might have a good run going down the back straight here, and I think let's see, someone seems to be trying to pull out on the side there. Let's see what's happening out front with Eskas and Dan Clement here. I think the two of them were trying to go side by side before that turn came up, and Clement holds on to P8 right now with Eskas there in 9th. At the moment, out of the front of the grid, we have a bit of a gap between most of our cars. We got Eskas coming under pressure from BG Cactus and Paulie as well as they go through turn 1 on lap, I think, are we on lap 3 right now? Is that really possible at the moment? I thought we were on lap 2. Anyway, let's go on through. If that's a mix-up, I'm not sure as yet, but it seemed to be on lap 3. I really wasn't paying attention about the laps. But so far so good for quite a few drivers here. We got Nimi getting very, very close to Paulie here right now. Definitely trying to look for a gap to go on. Was trying to go on the outside a bit there, not getting that done. And yeah, so still like a bit of close here between Eskas, BG Cactus, Paulie, Nimi, and then we got Christoph trying to catch up down at the back. Tassico is catching up to Gargamel in there, who's currently 16th at the moment. We're still following on with Nimi right now. He's really trying to put some pressure on Paulie in that Mercedes and really trying to get by. Let's see if he's going to take maybe the back straight to try and get by here. Of course, we have Paulie there just behind BG Cactus as well. So he's in a pretty good spot to get DRS when that does come online at the end of this lap here. And let's have a look on what's going to happen here. It looks like Nimi might have a really good run on the back straight, and he's definitely having DRS. I'm going side by side with Paulie there. Let's see if he gets out in front. And that definitely is going to put him up one position. That's up into 11 goes Nimi, down to 12th position for Paulie there right now. And let's see what's happening further out in front of them. So we got BG Cactus trying to catch up right now with Eskas. They're really trying to get up into that position for P9. And let's see if he's going to be able to do that. We got Gargamel down in the back here. He's trying to get up a position here as well. Trying to go side by side with Tassicos. And now he's going to take it on the the inside. And actually holds it back in 17 for now. Let's see what's happening up front. BG Cactus down to 12th position right now. Nimi up into 10th there, and he's really trying to get by Eskas right now. So that gap is actually still pretty close, and we still got a close gap between Paulie and BG Cactus down in the back here. So I think more of a battle between our midfield and rather the front of the grid, at least for this race since we've started here. And let's go back down here and see what's happening. I know Paulie's trying to catch up with Nimi there right now. And let's see how much of a difficult time he's having doing that. These guys are all still pretty close together, and I think this battle is going to continue on, at least for just a bit, as we're on lap 4 of the Chinese Grand Prix right now, into lap for 28 laps. And yeah, it's going to be coming to an end pretty quickly. Not a very long race for 28 laps, and just about a minute and a half per lap here. So yeah, still a pretty decent amount of timing for a race. And yeah, we're trying to keep an eye see what's going to happen here. So gap is being maintained at a bit of constant distance here between cars for the midfield, and we're trying to have a look to see who's going to come around. We got Nimi getting very close to Eskas, who's currently in 9th position, and he's really having a good run going down there. BG Cactus trying to get a good run on Paulie here as well. I think the two in front are going side by side just a bit, possibly. And yeah, it's I think that McLaren really held back a bit. That was Escas there. He's lost the position and now should be has any damage. And we have BG Cactus and Paulie going side by side. Cap and Christoph fighting it down just behind them there as well and coming through. And I think they're switching positions down at the back. Let's see, have a look at what's happening. Yeah, so another McLaren in about long at the back here. Christoph with a penalty now for that. And going back to BG Cactus, who's really close to Escas still, trying to get up into 10th position here. Let's see if he's going to get that done. Paulie coming right behind him, still in 12th, and a bit of a switch between them for the past few turns, trying to get up our position each here. Yeah, Devizak, he's trying to break his gap down as much as he can there right now to Devils, who's currently running, Blesscamp, who's running third, and kind of going and coming a bit with the delta time that he has, but still trying to keep it under a second if he can. Cuban out front, on the other hand, is actually having a great race, leading by 2.1 seconds over Devils there, who actually started on pole but down to second right now. I got Clement there in 8th position. He's currently under a second behind Jerry, so he's in that DRS zone and really trying to keep it there. I got BG Cactus getting right up to the rear of Esca's car, really trying to get by. And let's see, they're going to try and take the inside, getting onto this back straight, and looks like he might actually be getting this done. They're following on board with Escas right now, so that is him down a position. BG Cactus up to P10 and has Paulie coming behind him. BG Cactus trying to defend right now, got to see where Escas is going to go, and he breaks very late and goes wide and puts both BG Cactus and Paulie through. Loses 2 positions because of that late braking there right now, and I think he's into the pits there. Definitely he is. And let's see how that's going to work out for him. So we're following on board, on with Paulie at the moment. Let's see, going on board with him right now and see how he's getting through turn 1. Still chasing now BG Cactus here, trying to get up into 10th position at this point right now. Let's follow on with Groot out front. I'm seeing him just getting very close behind Harvest at the moment. So a bit further out front, we're following with a battle on at the moment as the midfield is trying to get a bit spaced out from each other. And we're going to be getting into our pit stops very soon. So that's going to be changing things up once again, even if it does get a bit slow between the gaps between cars. And we got Groot is looking to get a go on Harvest going down the back straight at the moment. One of the best opportunities for overtake is on this portion of the track, and he has the outside and goes through. Looks like he already got that position up into P5. Havlis down to 6 there right now. He might be trying to get it back. We're going to have a look to see how that works. So Devil seems to have gained a second of time off of Cuban out front with the lead there, so he's trying to keep up with that at the moment. We got Havlis into the pits right now. This puts Clement up into 7th position behind Jerry right now, still under a second with that gap and chasing him down. So we're keeping an eye on how that's going. We got Devizak behind Blesscount, who's currently running third. This gap is actually pretty close. Stays under a second for quite a bit. As we're seeing right now, we got Devils catching up with Cuban as he's trying to get a gap under a second, which he did go for just a split second and went off again. So I think that's going to be a battle coming on pretty soon as well. So Cuban seems to be having maybe some trouble out front because he's lost a bit of time to Devils there. And I think that's possibly our closest gap at the moment. So it looks like the battle might be taken out front. We got Havlis back up to the pits, fighting it with Tacticals down the back between 14 and 15. He's down to 15th position at the moment. Let's go on with Devils here right now and see how he's faring out in front with trying to catch up to Cuban. We're on board with him at the moment. Definitely having a good go at Cuban and going on the outside, and looks like he might be able to get up that position quite easily here right now. And this puts Cuban back down into second right now, having led the race for the first 6 to 7 laps. So Devils now takes back the lead. There goes Cuban into the pits. I think he said I think it's probably time for me to change tires now, as I've been losing some time on track. So yeah, he's in the pits. Devil takes back the lead of the race and has a bit of a gap on Blescon there. Now 4.1 seconds that gap is. And let's see where Cuban is going to come back out. We got Debizak into the pits as well. So is Dan Clement there. So a bit of a gap between most of our cars out front at the moment as we have pit stops happening here right now, and we're gonna see how that strategy is working. Let's have a look at tires on track here as well to see, you guys can actually see what's going on, who's switching on to what tires at the moment. So Paul is still running on his soft tires that he started the race on at the moment. Most of our front of the grid of cars are running on 7 laps mediums, and Cuban has gone on to the hard tires, so he's gonna push to the end of the race on those. So is Dan Clement there. And I see Havlis went on to the hard tires as well. So definitely he's planning to push to the end of the race there, guys. And let's go down to Christoph here right now, going side by side with Paulie actually. So let's see who's getting through. And looks like Christoph has gotten up into 10th position. That puts Paulie down 1 position there. And let's see if he's able to get back that position. Doesn't look like he might be able to. He's going to have to settle down for 11th position at this point. So a bit of a gap between most of our drivers down there at the moment. And we're following Dan Clement right now, who's getting by Paulie. Is Paulie having some trouble on track, or he's just allowing his teammate to go by? I'm not sure as yet, because he did pull to the side and allow Dan to go by up into P11. Dan on those fresher tires as well. Paulie does have to pit. Maybe that was just team orders in play there with them, because yeah, I think Paulie was planning to go into the pit, so no point holding up his teammate. So that's actually a good play on that there. That's actually good teamwork, getting Dan through so he can chase after Christoph here and try to get up into 10th position. Let's see, he's actually gotten pretty close to him. Very close gap, so let's see how Dan Clement works that out. His teammate has thrown him a bone here to you know, get up another position. So let's see if he's actually going to be able to do this or not, as he's actually getting pretty close, and I think he's going to have a good run on Christoph and try to get by. But I think he's going to try to do it on a safe portion of the track. And there goes a 3-second penalty now for Christoph in front, under pressure from Dan Clement, who's running on fresh hard tires at the moment, and definitely having a good go at him. And I think he's going to get by, even if not here, maybe on the back straight. And both of these drivers taking a very different racing line, if you can notice, as they go around some of these turns. And looks like Dan might be trying for the move on the back straight. Gets right up to the rear of Christoph's car right now. He's trying to be as careful as he can. Oh, and Christoph goes onto the dirt just a bit. Might have lost a tenth or two there, and that's going to give Dan more of an advantage. And he pulls to the side of the track, allows Dan to go by, because he does realize that it's really no point fighting this. He has fresher tires. He's going to get by on this run down into this turn either way. And, yeah. Oh, and late braking there. Let's see, were there any incidents with that? I'm not sure if Dan had a bit of contact with him there or not. Trying to have a look if his car has any damage, and that is Christoph quite a few positions down there right now. Clement's car seems to be fine so far and running. Let's get down to Havlis here, who's currently chasing Tassicos now. He's about half a second behind Tassicos, who's running 11, getting right up to the rear of that Reynolds car. So let's see if he's able to get by Paulie. They're getting a 3-second penalty right now. Devils continues to lead this race with Blescont in second, Groot currently in third, Jerry in fourth, Nemi in fifth, and we got BG Cactus sixth, Cuban currently in seventh after his pit stop, and Debbie Zach there in eighth, Cap in ninth, Dan Clement in 10th right now, so still keeping in the top 10 at least for now. We're still following on with Havlis right now, trying to get up a position on Tassicos. I want to see if he's going to be able to actually do this or not. He is on the fresher tires, not the faster tires, but the fresher tires. Those mediums are 7 laps old on Tassicos, so I don't think he's going to really feel that too much at this point here right now. Yeah, I don't think he has done a pit stop before there, Tassicos, from the start of the race. So, yeah, he's going to have to probably do another stop. I'm not sure those mediums are definitely going to make it to the end of the race. We're going to see how that actually works out, though. if he's really going to try and push them or not. I'm going to stay on board with him as he goes down to the end of this stretch, and looks like he's going to take the outside, and looks like that goes once the inside, and he's trying to get back at Havlis here right now. He's still going side by side. I think he might have to settle for 12 positions here right now, because I don't think he's going to be able to get up another position there. Sorry guys, and we have a virtual safety car for an incident down at the back where Tochichi there. So something's happened on track with him, and that's going to be a VSC for that incident. So everyone's going to have to slow down for just a bit, and that's going to cause some pit stops to happen out front. We got Devils and Blescon into the pits already. Groot and Jerry Nimi as well. No, not Nimi, sorry. So a few cars getting into the pits right now, and let's see how that's going to change the grid order for just a bit here. Okay, so let's continue on. That VSC is over. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we're on lap 12 of 28 right now, getting very close to the halfway point of this race at this point in time. And let's see who has a closer gap at the moment. Jerry's getting actually very close to Groot here, and I think we have some close gaps down at the bottom there of the grid as well, with a few pit stops happening right now. So we're trying to follow on with Jerry here as he is going. Gap is about 1.6 seconds between Devils and Cuban out front. So the two of them are back together and going. Of course, Devils on the fresher tires now. Cuban still running in second there, so he's going to still try and catch up and get back that lead if he can. And there goes Jerry on Groot. Gets up into a 5th position and puts Groot down to 6 now. Let's see if Groot is going to try and get that back. I don't think he's going to be able to, as Jerry seems to already be going off into a bit of into the distance. Still close by, but I don't think he's might be able to get it back on this occasion here. Going down to BG Cactus here right now, chasing down Nimi for P7 right now. Let's see if he's going to get this on the run down to turn 1. And quite a dangerous portion of the track to actually do this unless you really know your way around turns 1, 2, and 3. And it's always a gap to go on the inside if a car is giving you enough room. Of course, you got to just be able to go fast enough through it, and you know, still make sure you have control of the car, not losing the rear, especially getting off of turns 2 and 3 there. Cutting it a bit close behind Nimi here, but still able to brake in time and not overshoot that turn, and you know, putting his car into the back of Nimi's car here. So he's actually able to avoid that at this point and still chasing on down with BG Cactus right now. So you guys, following on still with BG Cactus here. He's getting pretty close to Nimi here right now. Let's see if he's going to have a good go on him. We're still following on with Blesscont and Cuban out front. You have a close gap between the two of them as we got BG Cactus going up a position here. And let's see if he's able to hold it into that. And BG Cactus fighting it for Nimi for that position. And it looks like BG Cactus holds out to P7. Nimi goes down to a P8 right now. Still actually pretty close. Actually still going side by side with Cactus there. Into turn 1 they go. And let's see who's going to have a better go into that one. And that's Nimi back up into 7. Gets back his position. Not a bad move from him. And yep, let's see how that works. And we got Blesscon still getting pretty close out front to Cuban there, trying to challenge him for second place. And we're going to see how that works. We got Jerry in 50. He has a bit of a penalty to work with. We'll have a look at penalties in just a bit as well. And we are at that halfway point in the race right now, on lap 14 and going. We have quite a number of pit stops happening in this race so far. And I think almost everyone has pitted. I don't think I've seen anyone who has not done a pit stop as yet. So far, just 2 drivers out of the race. Prasek was out at the start of the race. Tojichi went off just not too long ago. I'm not sure what this incident was. I think someone is off track in Sector 2 right now. And not entirely sure who that is at the moment. That might be, that was actually Nimi there. Might have had a spin or a bit of contact with someone. I'm not sure. We're following on. Let's get out in front right now. Blesscon is getting right up to the rear of Cuban's car and definitely trying to get a better exit off of that turn to hopefully have a go at him. And Christoph has retired from the race. He's out there in Sector 2 and off the track. So I don't think that's going to be a VSC or anything for that, because that's not going to be blocking anything. So we're going to continue on with Blesscant out there in P3 and see if he's able to catch up even closer and get by Cuban there for P2. Our race leader, Devils, is kind of leading out front with a bit of a gap, and he's running pretty well, I got to say, actually, because he's now 3.3 seconds away from Cuban, because Cuban is now under pressure from Blesscant for second place. We got Jerry and Groot actually getting pretty close together down there in the midfield as well, and so is Cap and Gargman, who's now just switched positions down 11th and 12th as we're watching out front what's happening here. And so we're going to have a look to see if Blesscant is able to get a good run off of Cuban on this back straight as they're about to approach it right now. And we know Blesscant is keeping as close to Cuban's car as he can as they continue on this lap and go onwards. And it looks like he might have a good run on him. And let's have a look. Cuban pulling to the side of the track already. And yes, trying to defend his position right now. And there goes Blesscant. He might be pushing it further inside and does do so. And I think Cuban's going to come back at him though. So let's see how that's working out right now. Still side by side, both of them go into the final turn before they get onto that pit straight. And looks like it might be, let's see, I'm not even sure who's getting through. They're still going side by side. Onto the pit straight, they go into turn 1 now. And so far it is Cuban holding on to P2 officially. They're about to do some switches as they go through turns 1, 2, and then head to turn 3 here. Yeah, they're both still going side by side. Might be some minor contact, wheel-to-wheel action as they're going through those turns there, and are actually pretty close together. So that's Cuban down to third position here. That's Blesscant up into P2 here right now. Let's see if he's actually able to keep that position or not. And Cuban has actually gotten back pretty close to Blesscant, so let's see how much longer he's able to hold that gap of about half a second that's between the two of them right now. There. So they're on the run down the back straight and going, and he doesn't seem to be getting any closer rather than 0.4 of a second. So I think he's going to have to work his way up. I think he's just a little bit late braking, has kept him a bit closer now. And yeah, it's starting to look a little bit more cloudy here on track. So I'm not sure if we're going to have any drizzles getting down to the end of this session. Drivers would know what the weather conditions actually are supposed to be like here, but I'm really not sure what is going to happen. If we are going to have maybe a few light drizzles before the end of this race, it is possible at this point here right now, as we're still trying to follow. Okay, guys, so we're down here with Tasticos in P8, currently chasing after BG Cactus, who is currently 7th at the moment. Let's see how this battle progresses on, as our battle between Blesscount and Cuban has gone away for just a bit and has allowed Devils to get a bigger even gap over them of 5 seconds right now. So he's running a pretty great race out front at the moment there. So on lap 17 right now of 28. So we got just about 11 laps left to go in this session here right now. So not a lot of time. But the drivers are going to have to get a move on with keeping up in positions and just see what the strategy is working out to be here at the moment. So we haven't had a full-on safety car in this race, just a VSC so to deal with so far. I think we're going to have a bit of a battle starting to get very close here, and also close with Cuban and Blesscount out front. So we're keeping an eye both on them and Tasticos and BG Cactus here. So we got Tasticos trying to have a good run on Cactus going into turn 1, and BG Cactus has blocked him off just a bit. He's going to have to take the long way around on the outside and not able to switch it through on this occasion here. So still pushing it through. BG Cactus gets on the grass for just a little bit there, and still very close gap between the two of them. Tasticos is going to push on through as much as he can here, still keeping in that DRS zone just to make sure he does have that advantage working through the lap here right now. Just about 10 and a half laps left in the race, so really drivers are going to start to push a bit harder if they can here right now, especially those drivers on the hard tires. And we got Tasticos on 15 laps old mediums here as well, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it to the end of the race on these tires with another 10 laps to go, but he might have to do another pit stop. I don't think those tires are going to actually make it. They're really going to wear off getting close to a lap 23 at 24 at least here. But let's see how much he's actually able to push these tires, because it'll be interesting to see if Tasticos can push those tires all the way to lap 28 without having them give up on him. There is that possibility. I wouldn't put it past him here right now. And we also have HR12 there with the 14 laps on his medium, so just behind Tasticos with a 1 lap behind on difference there, so not too bad at all. As we're on board with BG Cactus here right now, we're still trying to follow along to see if he's losing or gaining time on with Tasticos just behind him in there. And does have that runner coming up pretty quickly on him, so he's going to have to be very careful here. Cuban there out front is trying to catch back up to Blesscount there in second to try and get back his position if he can. Of course, Blesscount doing pretty well in second and trying to hold on to that position for as long as he can there right now. And let's have a look and see if this battle is going anywhere on this occasion here. Doesn't seem to be that way. So we got Devils leading out front here in P1. 6.1 seconds ahead. He's running a pretty good race there at the moment. Then we got Blesscount and Cuban here So second and third for the two of them, and they're fighting it out still for second position right now. Still that gap is about half a second between the two of them at the moment here. As you can go on board with a Cuban and see how close he's actually able to get through the turn one behind a Blescant here right now, but still not able to get by on either occasion here. We got Debuzak here running in P4 right now. He's about 7.3 seconds behind a Cuban there at the moment. Running pretty high up, actually, not too bad for his position here. We got Jerry now running in 5th, and he has Groot Company starting to put some pressure on him just behind there in 6th position. As you can see, Groot coming just behind her as well. So the gap is a bit close and might continue that way for a bit. And I think Groot is pushing as much as he can there right now just to catch and get closer and closer. And then we got BG Cactus there running in 7th position and has pressure from Tasticles just behind him, still chasing him down for that position there right now. As you can see, both of them still fighting it through. Then we got Habilis here. He's running about 4.3 seconds behind Tasticles right now, running a bit of his own race down at the back here. And so is Nimi, who is about 5.2 seconds behind him there in 10th position. And still running a pretty good race down here in 10th, at least to get some points in for the team there. Dan Clement running in 11th right now. He's 5.8 seconds behind Nimi at the moment. Then we got Cap here in 12th. He's another 4.9 seconds behind. It's coming in a racing point there. And then we got Dan's teammate Paulie here, who's in 13th at the moment and running. So Mercedes not having the best of day here on track. 5 seconds behind Cap at the moment there. We got Gargamel in 14th. He's about 13 seconds behind Paulie at the moment. And I got Escas another 24 seconds behind Gargamel here. He's in 15th and running at this time. And we got HR12, who is currently getting into the pits and probably getting back out. And let's have a look at that. He's getting back out of the pits, I think, there now. I don't know why they're showing us there. No car was there. There's a car going through right now. We got Tascos now getting into the pits, getting off his 18 lap old mediums, and probably going to go on to softs to the end of the race as we're on lap 21 right now to 28. So just about 7 laps remaining. Quite sure. Yeah, definitely he did go on to the softs there. And yeah, so that's going to be tricky to see how much positions he's going to be able to make up at the end. We got Lukey running another 18 seconds behind HR12. He's in 17th position right now. Christoph to GG and Prasek out of this session, unfortunately for them. And let's get back up on top with a battle between Blescant and Cuban here. A gap of 1.2 seconds between them. Let's go down to Groot, and we got still under about half a second between the gap is between Jerry and Groot right now, as they're going to continue on through. Remember guys, lap 21 of 22, we're going to enter into lap 22 very soon, and that's going to leave us with just about 6.5 laps left to go. I think our race leader just went into lap 22 there. So officially beginning that on track right now. It still does look a bit cloudy. I think track temperature is the only thing being really affected by this here right now. So drivers gotta be a bit careful with tires getting off of the turns and getting into turns, just to avoid any wheel spin or action or whatever can happen with that. Getting down to Cap there behind Tascos. He's actually getting pretty close. Let's see if he's going to have a good run on Tascos down the back straight of the track here. And Groot actually getting a very good run with Jerry there as well. And doesn't really try to push it too much. He's going to actually hold it there for now and continue on. So let's get back to Groot here in 6th. Still chasing down with Jerry in sector 1 on the track going right now. And let's see if this battle is going to go anywhere before we do end off this race here. So I think most of our gaps are being a bit constant. There's a few seconds between most of our drivers. Our closest gap, I think, is what we have here with Jerry and Groot at the moment. We're trying to get back overhead camera view with Groot as he goes around this turn here right now. He's getting very close behind Jerry, but he needs to get a gap under quarter of a second and then try to get a good overtake done. We also got Cuban trying to keep his gap under a second behind Blescon there, who's currently running second, and we're going to see how that works out for him. 4-lap fresher tires for Blescon, so maybe that's going to help him out. Tactical is currently running 11th with those fresh soft tires. Let's see how he's going to catch up to Dan Clement there, and if he's going to be able to get by up into the top 10 before finishing this race. We do have a few drivers with penalties, Cuban being one of them in third, and Jerry in fifth there with penalties as well. Actually, let's have a look at what our penalties are like at the moment here. So 3 seconds of penalties for Cuban, 3 seconds for Jerry, 6 seconds for Cap, 3 seconds for Polly, 3 seconds for HR12, and Luki another 3 seconds there. So we're going to see how that actually works. So not too bad on penalties actually. You would expect more penalties, more drivers after penalties and whatnot. But yeah, 20 drivers on track, 17 drivers remain in this race so far, so I say not too bad with that being said there. And yeah, we're still trying to follow on with Blescon and Cuban, and as well with Jerry and Groot here. The back of the grid, I think we have a bit of a spaced out grid there. Gaps are not as close as we need them to be at the moment, which I think some drivers might be happy about, some not. And we're still following on with Cuban right now as he's still chasing down Blescon for P2 at the moment, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to get this or not, but let's see how that works out. Of course, he does have that 3-second penalty to deal with, so he has just about 4 laps left right now, 5 laps or so, to get ahead of Blescon and actually get a gap of about 3 seconds, and that's what he needs to actually work with. We got Devils running out front, 7 seconds in front, and he's actually running pretty well there, so I think he's actually looking pretty good for a pole position finish here. And that gap is actually getting a bit closer and closer as we continue to go on here. And looks like he might be trying for a move around the outside. Let's have a look at what Cuban is up to here at the moment. Does have that penalty, still pushing as hard as he can in this race, which is always a lot of fun to see. Drivers still pushing through to get the best possible race finish over that finish line. And let's see, he does stand a chance of getting up into second position before we get to the finish line here right now. So let's see if he's going to be able to actually do that or not. Trying to have a better exit off of that turn of Blescon there. And still holding a gap of about 0.4 of a second right now. And we've currently entered into lap 25 of this race now. So that leaves us with just under 4 laps to go for the Chinese Grand Prix for EFRL. So I think everyone's driven actually pretty well today. Not a bad race at all. Let's see if we have any more close gaps to keep an eye on here right now. No, I think most of our gaps have started to just build quite a bit. Paulie trying to get his gap under a second. That is BG Cactus now with another penalty there, and he's about 11 seconds behind Groot. Groot and Jerry, they have a gap of just under a second, which is kind of coming and going just a bit. So I think that's going to be continuing on for that, maybe just to the end of the race. Not sure if Groot is going to be able to get up that position or not. Maybe if Jerry does make a mistake in front, it might actually help him to get up a position there. But we're going to see how that actually works out for him here. Oh, and we have a safety car. Something's happened on track somewhere. I'm trying to have a look on what that incident is right now, because I'm really not sure what's happened to cause a safety car at this point in the race, where everyone is a bit spaced out all around track. And I think, actually I'm not sure. I know I have a car going into the pits there right now. And we got Gargamel going into the pits. And Luki has retired from the session. Can anyone see his car on track? I'm not sure where his car is. To be honest, I really am not sure where his car is. So this safety car might change things up just a bit at this point in the race. I'm not sure how long the safety car is going to last. I will see how that actually works out here. But yeah, at this point, this late in the race, I'm not sure, are we going to actually finish under the safety car here? And that was Cuban, I think, getting off track onto the grass there for just a second, and then getting back on track, so I'm not sure what's happened there. So yeah, guys, we're on lap 26 right now of the Chinese Grand Prix and running under our safety car for something happened with Luki, I assume, but I'm not sure what that incident was. So we're a bit in the dark with that there being said. I'm not sure how we're going to be finishing this race, because it looks like this race might be finishing under the safety car if we're not allowed to get back racing before the end of lap 27 here. So there we are, we're running under the safety car right now, with Devils leading the pack here at the moment. So this is going to make everyone catch up for just a bit, and that safety car obviously is not going to be going in on this lap since it just came out. I don't think it's going to be going on lap 26. If we're lucky here, that safety car is going to be going in on lap 28. Sorry, lap 27. Oh, actually he's going in on this lap, so that's quite interesting. There's nothing on track, so I'm really not sure why they even brought a safety car out. I really don't see the reason for it. I expected maybe a VSC would have been fine for whatever had happened on track. Maybe there was some debris on track, but I think a VSC would have actually cleared everything up. There was really no point bringing the safety car out. That was just wasting gas, honestly. Why did they even do that? It makes absolutely no sense. I'm not sure what the incident was on track, but I really don't see the point of a safety car on that one. I think the VSC would have been sufficient. And we're about to get back racing at the end of lap 26 here. So we have lap 27 and 28 to go with. And Debisak has retired from the race. Why has that happened? We're not entirely sure. Let's have a look at something here. I think his car is... What on earth happened to Debisak's car? I'm not sure. Hopefully that is not going to keep the safety car on track even longer here. Let's have a look at if it's going in or not. And yeah, I think it went in. So we should be back racing here right now. Yep, we are. And we're going to have Blescont have a go with Cuban here. Let's see how that's going to work out as we're on lap 27 and going. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen here right now. So Devil still continues to lead this race with Blescon there in second, Cuban in third, and Jerry in fourth. And we got Groot currently running up in fifth. BG Cactus there in a sixth position, and he has some company with Groot coming there as well. So let's see between BG Cactus and Groot who's going to get by on this one. And they're teammates, so I'm not sure. They're definitely racing each other here. Hopefully they don't take each other out of the race. And who's going to get by in front, I'm not sure as yet. Looks like... I'm not even sure. It looks like BG Cactus is holding on to fifth position right now, and looks like he's going to take it and continue on with that. And definitely these Alfa Romeo drivers are racing each other to the end of the race here right now. It's every driver for himself just to get some points in and then show that they're the superior driver. Eska is getting a penalty, 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags right now, because I think he's running in the midst of the front of the grid there right now. And we're trying to follow on. Let's see, we got a gap of less than a second between Devils and Blescount out front. And let's see what's happening here. Nimi getting very, very close to Groot right now, and I'm trying to follow on with that. I think they're going side by side. And let's see. Nope, goes behind Groot there in sixth. So BG Cactus in fifth, Groot in sixth, Nimi into seventh place right now. Still trying to get by Groot here. Let's see if he's going to be able to get this done or not. I'm going to follow overhead at the moment and see what's happening with these guys as we're about to go. We're actually not about to. We're in lap 28 right now. Final lap of the Chinese Grand Prix for EFRL. So let's see how they actually finish this lap and who's going to get a position up here or not. And we're going to have a look on how they actually finish this race as we're getting very, very close to the end here right now. We still have a gap of just under a second between Devils and Blescount out front. Havlis there having the fastest lap in the race so far. He's running in 10th, so having a fresh soft tires on maybe is helping him out with that and looking to get an extra point there as well, I guess. We're still following with this very, very close gap between BG Cactus there and Nimi. Of course, BG Cactus and... between Groot and Nimi, and BG Cactus and Groot are still fighting it out a bit for that position. A bit more close between Groot and Nimi though, so we're trying to keep an eye on that as it goes through. Gap is just about half a second, I would say, though, and we're about to head on straight to that back straight here on the track right now on the final lap. So this will be the last time we actually go through here, and let's see if anyone is going to get a good run on anyone. So front of the grid in front of us right now, we're Nimi all the way up to the Devils in front. They have a pretty decent gap between them and going, and I think it's going to keep this way at least for now. Let's go on with board with Devils here, as he's about to go across the final turn, and across the finish line to finish on pole position here for the Chinese Grand Prix. So a great race from him, finishing on pole, and there goes Blescon finishing in second, Cuban coming his penalty, finishing his third, Jerry takes fourth, and we got BG Cactus coming around for fifth, and switches position now. So Groot goes up to 4, Jerry to 5th, Nimi in 6th, we got BG Cactus down to 7, Tassicos takes 8, Dan Clement takes 9th, and let's see, we got Havlis coming around now to take 10th position, and let's see if he's gonna get that. Does get it actually, and we got penalties with these 3 drivers. We got Escas in 14, HR 12 and 15. We got Cap coming around for 11th position here right now. Paulie coming around for 12th position, I think that's gonna be, and Gargamel in there for 13th position. That's how I should have put penalties on, so you guys can have a look on that and what's happening with it. And I think just Gargamel left to go across the line right now as he's about to go around the final chicane, and that's going to be it for the Chinese Grand Prix, guys. So we're just going to wait for him to go by, get through back one more time for our official finishing results for the grid. So 5 drivers I think are actually were not able to finish this race, unfortunately. And driver of the day goes to Tassicos there, so not too bad. Congratulations to Tassicos for getting driver of the day, and Devils for a podium finish here, pole position finish actually. And let's see our 3 drivers on the podium there and then get to our results. And there we have it. So a Red Bull, a Williams, and a Haas on the podium. Not too bad at all for an evening's race here at China. Alright guys, so there we have it, and Paulie takes the fastest lap of the session. Alright, so we got Devils taking pole position, Blescon finishes 2nd, and Cuban finishes 3rd on the podium with him. We got Groot finishing 4th, Jerry in 5th, Nimi taking 6th, we got BG Cactus takes 7th, Tascos takes 8th, and we got Dan Clement takes 9th, Havlis takes 10th, Cap takes 11th, Paulie in 12th position, Gargamel in 13th, Escos there 14, HR 12 and 15, Debizak in 16, Luki in 17, Christoph there 18, to GG 19, Prazasek there in 20th position, guys. So that is it here, guys, for round 4 of 22 for EFRL for the Chinese Grand Prix. Join us again on this channel next week for the next race, and should be a good one as well. So until then, I'll see you guys with the EFRL live stream. I'll see you guys until then. If you guys are interested in watching the next live stream, just join me on my channel. I'll be starting that stream in about 20 minutes. Actually about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll be starting that stream up on my channel there. So anybody want to join on, I'll see you guys there for that. Thank you guys for joining on this session. I'll see you guys next week again for the next race.